Hello and welcome on Sports Update on Trust TV. I'm Adeni G. Shafet. I'm taking you around the world of sport as we look at those activities happening. Right now, we talk about judo. Nigerian Judo Federation invites 16 judokas for Olympic qualifiers. 16 judokas right now, they have been invited for the competition that will be coming up. And right now, they want to at least make us proud for this particular competition. They are looking at the fact that Nigerian Judo Federation inviting 16 judokas now. Let's look at the list of those judokas that have been invited by Nigerian Judo Federation right now. Well, we have for men, Aerogan Odion Bright, 100 meter kg there. Damini Michael, minus 100 kilogram. Cyprian Miracle, in minus 90 kilogram category. Abdurrahman Ejeba, right now being invited for minus 81 kilogram. Samuel Ayowole, minus 73 kilogram. Taiwo Aremu, who also has been invited in that particular category. Michael Agbo, minus 66 kilogram, and Kehinde Aremu also being invited to participate in this competition for the Olympic qualifier. Nigerian judokas for men. For women, you have Umba Chinwe Salamaris in this plus 78 kilogram. Ejiro Gene Irene, plus 78 kilogram category. For women, Enku Ewa Ekuta, minus 63 kilogram. You have Amara Bella Udeza, also part of that particular women that have been invited. Immaculate Nelson is part of it, and the minus 57 kilogram. Miracle Eziodu is also invited. Franca Audu, Charity Jato, and you have Celere Matthias, who has also been invited in the minus 48 kilogram. Well, from the way it is right now, Suleiman Musa, Catherine Ewa, Toyin Ojo, Christy Aremu, and Bobo Igonowari are right now going to be the coaches that have been given the opportunity to coach that particular team that representing or fighting for judo to represent Nigeria at the Olympics if they are able to make it. Hopefully, we are hoping that the entire team will fight hard and able to make it for Nigeria. We want to see our judokas at the Olympic come 2024 in Paris, and we really hope that they can do us proud in that particular competition. Joining us in the studio is David Oku. Good to have you, David.
Yeah, good evening, please. It's my pleasure to be here on Sports Updates. You
just saw the list being rolled out there. Those are the men and women that represent Nigeria in judo Olympic qualifiers. We have a lot of them, and one particular name struck mine there. That's Kuta, who a mother was formerly competing for Nigeria. Now the daughter also is part of that particular squad.
It runs in the blood. And what else would she be doing if not taking up from the mother? It's a good thing. It runs in the lineage. And one thing that is good with sports is that if your parents did sports, or your uncle or anybody in the family, you can take it up, and even be successful like they were to. But judo is a good one for us. Every time I see judo, I'm happy and I'm smiling because I know it's one of those sports that is popular here. You go down to Cross River. In fact, if you look at the names there of the invitees,
seems more of South.
Yeah, southern Nigeria. So let's call it southern Nigeria. You understand, the southwest, south, and the southeast, representing. So it's a good one. Yeah, there are facilities for judo. You go to every stadium in the country, you see judo facilities. You see the young athletes, practicing, and the coaches teaching them how to go about their business. But there needs to be more in terms of the incentive for judo athletes. There needs to be more, not just the courts now, not just the facilities. There needs to be more in terms of incentive for them to understand that when they come into doing judo, they can use this as a career path and earn for a living. You need to, what you love to do, you need to use it to earn a living. So people who do judo are not just, okay, come train, go for Olympics and all that. No, they need to earn a living from it.
We need to earn a living from it, coming from David Oku there, who has been our studio guest on the show Sports Update. We talk about Nigerian judokas representing us, and hopefully they can get the qualifiers done and get to the Paris there. Right now, we'll move away from judo. Let's quickly touch on another story is trending. Well, this time around, our ladies. It was a tough one there because looking at that particular title, Olympic qualifier, Ethiopia had not to crack. According to their coach, Super Falcons coach Madugu was there over there in Addis Ababa, and right now he's saying they were had not to crack. That game against Ethiopia seems to be an eye-opener. A lot of people didn't expect such a performance from our ladies, but now the coach is saying, in fact, Ethiopia was a hard nut to crack.
Yeah, a real hard nut to crack. Ethiopia were talking tough. The captain was talking tough before the game, and they proved it on the field of play, that they can be, a spanner in the works of the Super Falcons. I love the way the Ethiopians went about their business before the dust could settle. Bang! They scored the goal. So it needed Nigeria. The onus was on us now to respond, and we did that in a mature way. Good Rashidat came to the party and then scored. We did score a goal which could have won it, Ifeoma Onomunu, but I don't know why that was ruled out. Yes, I don't know why that goal was ruled out. I think it should have stood. But again, there are no more minnows in Africa. When we say, yes, Nigeria should be winning, these are some of the people we were beating 5-6 yesteryear. It doesn't happen like that anymore, Adeni. We need to go in and earn the right to win a football match. That's how it is now with women's football. It is a testament to the growth, the development, and to the exposure women have now in football, that they can compete, they can push the Falcons to the edge, they can take them, to the cleaners, or give them a run for their money. That's exactly what we saw the Ethiopian women do to the Falcons yesterday.
Well, a big one there. Now let's listen to the voice of the coach, Coach Madugu there. Why he says he had not to a crack. Let's listen to what he said after that particular game.
It's not an easy game for us, because the Ethiopian girls also put in their best to try and ensure that they got something out of the game. And we had our own challenges, and then we tried as much as possible to get ourselves together so that we came with the aim of winning, but eventually it didn't turn out the way we had expected. However, we still have the second leg to play, and whatever lapses we may have noticed in today's game, we will do our best to ensure that we correct that before the next game. Yeah, like I said earlier on, our intention was to ensure that we win the game, and like you rightly observed, our game plan was hinged around offensive play, but eventually we couldn't get some of our acts right, especially in the attacking third, and we couldn't get our passes accurately, and that accounted for why we couldn't convert some of the chances that came our way. These are some of the lapses I was talking about that we may have noticed, and we will need to work on to ensure that we correct and perfect that before the next game. Yeah, we made changes in the second half that brought in some fresh blood in the team, and you could see that helped us to also sustain the pressure on the opposition. But like I said, we really need to get our acts right in the attacking third to ensure that we finish, more accurately. As far as our expectations are concerned, when you go in for every game, you always plan to ensure that you win. But planned to win does not mean it must turn out the way you have planned it. The result could be a win for you. It could also end in a draw. At the same time, you equally stand the chance of losing if things do not also go your way. So we didn't actually get what we wanted. We're not too happy about that, but we really need to correct that and ensure that in the next game
from the way it is, you just have what the coach said there. What they expected was not what they meant on ground. It seems Ethiopia got the better side of Super Falcons yesterday. In fact, a lot of Nigerians were surprised that Super Falcons didn't play the way, in fact, at the World Cup, far better. Yesterday was a bit woeful.
Yeah, honest. That's brutal honesty from the coach. He was there to see everything that has happened. And I believe that when they come to Abuja, the return leg is on Tuesday, right? Yeah. When they return back to the capital, they can put, right the wrongs, right the wrongs and do better, because it will be a disaster, a monumental disaster if they don't qualify for the Olympics. I think in previous editions, we've not been at the Olympic Games when it comes to football here for the women. So we've been absent for a while, and even Olympics are missing us. So we need to right the wrongs. We need to start off early. We need to control the game at that pace. We need to score. If it's an early goal, put the ball in the back of the net, but just make it comfortable, for yourselves, and give yourselves that breathing space that you require. So I expect us to win on Tuesday.
Hopefully we can do it on Tuesday. That will be where Super Falcons will be hosting the Lucy of Ethiopia. over there right now. That will be coming up in Abuja. MK Abiola Stadium is the place to be. We just saw that our ladies will do us proud. They play 1-0 draw against Ethiopia over there in Addis Ababa, and Nigerians can't wait to see them performing. Well, away from the ladies football, let's talk about the men now. But this time around, club football, African Football League is actually on, and we want to see Nigerian team there. Eyimba International, they'll be facing Wydad Casablanca tonight. The first leg is a match that a lot of Nigeria didn't expect that. They were expecting Eyimba to win outrightly, but it didn't happen. But right now, they will be facing Wydad Casablanca away from Morocco. Can they do it? This is a big Herculean task. African Football League, we are positive on Leke. That's the goalkeeper talking there. They are positive that they can do it against Casablanca. But do you think they can? Looking at how the North Africans take football.
Yes, it's an adult task to go to Wydad and win, especially at that stadium in Casablanca. It's difficult for teams coming in there because this is a side that has, you know, a history about them. They have a strong home form, and the backing of the crowd is always difficult. It's nothing that cannot be turned around. Yes, this is football. Eyimba to win there 2-1 will mean they qualify on away goals, because away goals is still being used in Africa. But again, they need to start early. They need to weather the storm there. They need to weather the storm and then try to see how they can score a goal. Unfortunately, they couldn't get a goal in Uyo. I think they played well, decent in some spells against Wydad. Wydad had a tough game. And tonight, the game was initially scheduled for yesterday, but we all knew what happened, and we had to push it today, which is the correct thing. Eyimba absolved of blame. The blame is for CAF, because CAF was supposed, you know, to make provisions for the teams who are participating for travel logistics and all whatnot. So game is coming up tonight, and I expect Eyimba to go in there going with confidence. I hope that the people in and around these players are psyching them well and telling them that it's just another game of football for which they can score goals and win the game. It's against a tough team, but I expect them to do better than the first leg.
Hopefully, Eyimba will do well, just so that they can do well to represent Nigeria in this very lucrative league, African Football League, organized by CAF there. Now, we'll move away from that particular story quickly because of our time. We just quickly look at NBA results, just flash it there, looking at the result of games that have been played in NBA. A lot of games, so many games is back, and a lot of basketball lovers out there. Sacramento Kings 1-10 against Utah Jazz 114. You look at Miami Heat 103, winning just by a point against Detroit Pistons. And you also have Boston Celtic winning against New York Knicks there. Well, 108-104. Houston Rockets 86-116 against Orlando Magic. Indiana Pacers 143 defeating Washington Wizards by 120-143. Atlanta Hawks 110-116 Charlotte Hornets. Toronto Raptors actually wrapped them there 97-94 against Minnesota Timberwolves. Cleveland Cavaliers 114 by just a point against Brooklyn Nets, and they were able to do it. Nothing away from Oklahoma City 124 against Chicago Bulls, who couldn't at least win that game 104-128. And you look at all the results there, just to give you update concerning the result of the NBA. Right now, we've switched from the NBA. Let's talk about football. Big ones coming up tonight in Europa Conference and also in Europa League. Let's start with Europa League, the second tier of UEFA competition. Europa League right now, let's look at that. Fixtures that will be coming up in the Europa League right now, where we have so many matches slated here. David, maybe just one or two there. Olympiacos, West Ham, big match there for the Greek team, and West Ham, we know what they've been doing. At least they really want to show their class as not just a fluke to win in Europe. They want to maintain it. Marseille, AEK Athens. You have Liverpool against Toulouse of France. You have Roma against Slavia Prague. Sheriff Tiraspol against Sever Molde against Harkin, and Bayer Leverkusen, where our own Victor Bassi plays straight against Karabakh of Azerbaijan. Let's look at this together.
Yes, let's begin at the Karaiskakis Olympiacos. That home ground is a tough one for teams to go to. Olympiacos these days are a shadow of themselves, so I fancy West Ham to get something out of the game. West Ham have not been that great. They were well beaten at Aston Villa over the weekend. I think David Moyes will be galvanizing his boys after that big defeat, and let's see what they can get from this game. I think they've won some of the games in the Europa League already this season. It's a good one for them after the won the UEFA Europa Conference League. You know, now they've graduated to the
they
big
move
one.
up to the bigger level.
So
what if they win this one?
Yeah, they can. Maybe they can. They can.
Nobody actually
you
saw
know,
that
last
they could
season
do it.
they were affected. Their league form was affected due to their participation in Europe, and we expect that to continue. As much as they progress winning games, if you win game, you have the headache of playing another game. That's one thing with football. Another game, very quickly, Brighton Hove Albion up against Ajax. Yeah, a tough game for Brighton. Ajax have not been themselves this season. They've had to sack their coach. They could even get relegated because they are down below, and it's not easy for them. Maybe this is a place away from the not so happy Eredivisie, which they've been participating in. Maybe this is another chance for them to say, let's get a win under our belt. And then Liverpool have been the form team. They host Toulouse at the red hot Anfield tonight. I expect Liverpool to smoke hot and win this game. Mohamed Salah has been in form. Imagine, he's banging in goals too. He's there at the top charts of the goal scorer, leading the log too, alongside some other players. But Liverpool have been fantastic this season, haven't they? They've been good. Again, in the Merseyside derby, they were victorious 2-0. This is what we know young clubs side for. Even if they can't score more goals, they will control the game, manage it, and hit you at the right time to win it by a goal or two. Then Roma against Slavia Prague, another tough game, but Jose Mourinho's side know how to play these competitions very well. And then Bayer 04 Leverkusen versus Karabakh. Bayer Leverkusen, surprisingly, topping the log in the German Bundesliga. And then our player there, what's his name? Victor Boniface.
Boniface, Rodney.
Yeah, doing the business, banging in the goals. So nice games lined up for us here for our viewing pleasure. But I expect some of these teams that I've talked on to take the day at the end of the day.
Okay, right now, quickly, we look at the Conference League that will be coming up, the third tier of UEFA Europa competition. Let's look at the fixtures quickly. A lot of matches also slated there. You have the likes of Eintracht Frankfurt of Germany taking on HJK Helsinki, PAOK Salonika against Aberdeen of Scotland, going to Ghent. You have our own Oban against Breda Blik, Astana against Balkani, Klaasik against Olympia Ljubljana, and you have Lugano also facing Club Brugge of Belgium. Lugano plays in Switzerland, and you have Bodo Glimt against Besiktas of Turkey, Aston Villa away to AZ Eichmann, and you have a lot of matches there. Fiorentina against Kukarici, who become at least fighting hard to see how they can do their business. Ludogorets Grasgrad against Fenerbahce of Turkey. Those are the games slated for Europa Conference League for tonight. Well, let's just do just one out of it. Fenerbahce is a team that, when you look at it, one of the giants in in Turkish league, Superliga, and now they'll be hosting Ludogorets Razgrad of Bulgaria. Do you see them winning this game?
Yes, they can win the game. They can beat anybody at the Sukru Sarakoglu in Istanbul. Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, these teams are tough teams to go away to play in Istanbul, Turkey. And taking on the side of Ludogorets Razgrad, the team from Bulgaria, every year I see them participating in European competitions like this. But sometimes they come in and maybe give the points. Sometimes they come in and perform well. So it's a tough game to look at tonight, Fenerbahce up against the Bulgarians. And we expect a cracking atmosphere in Turkey.
A cracking atmosphere in Turkey there. Just giving you updates concerning those games slated for tonight in Europa League and also Europa Conference League, both second and third tier of UEFA competitions in Europe. Right now, before we go, let's look at this particular story. Look at Manchester United. They have a goalkeeper from Cameroon. Onana is his name, Andre. But right now, he will be going for AFCON, and news outside featuring in that their former man, David De Gea, could be recalled. Manchester United could resign David De Gea on a short-term contract when Onana goes to AFCON. How do you see this?
Yes, some people are saying it's an embarrassing story. That's what I have read. But I take a different stance. I think the more the merrier. David De Gea didn't even want to leave Man United in the first place. I think there was a breakdown in negotiations after his contract had expired. You know, it's not even the manager's thing, it's the club, it's the hierarchy's thing. So he was asked to leave. But if he comes back, I'll be one of those who opens the door wide for David. Say, please walk in. You know, if Onana misses 1 month, you know what 1 month is in the Premier League? Let me tell you something. The January period is the period that usually decides who wins the title. and other things. So it's a key period for Manchester United. It's a key period for the goalkeeping department. Otel Bayunda, the guy who's coming from Fenerbahce, is yet to even have a kick. So we need, United needs experience. I want to say we. Yes, I'm a United fan. They need experience in that position. And if Andre is going to be joining Cameroon in Ivory Coast, then of course they will need someone like David to stand in the stakes.
And David De Gea, really, with the experience and everything, he really deserves that particular opportunity to at least showcase his talent again with Manchester United.
Of course, obviously, he's been missed. I know the United faithful miss him, yes.
Just that it's so painful that that reunion didn't end so smooth.
Well, it was a breakdown in communication. I think United gave David a contract, but it was below his valuation, and with his contract up, he had to leave, you know. But he's still around Old Trafford. I see him around with some of the players. They love him there. He's friends with a lot of the guys here, Varane, Bruno Fernandes.
Okay, well,
so we're looking forward to seeing him come back.
We just have to go now. Our time is up there. Talking about the sport update, giving you details concerning the world of sport there. David Oko has been with us in the studio. David, thanks so much.
Yeah, always a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, Adeniyi Ajishafe, thanks for watching.